Hey there, welcome. My name is Alanda, and this is me, unscripted, unfiltered, and nothing fancy. As you can see, it's really dark right now because the sun's not out, and where I sit, there's this big window from natural lighting, so it usually makes everything like look really nice. But right now, it's just me, no makeup, no hair done, having my coffee, talking to you about whatever it is I want to talk about. And today, because a couple of you have asked me to tell you my story about my Barbies, I'm going to tell that story. Now I know I was planning, the idea was every Sunday to put out a video for Spooky Madness, and I didn't this past Sunday. It's not because I don't want to, it's because I was a bit tired. And most of you, I think, probably came over here from my primary channel, which is the Recovering Hunbot. And I'm doing a series over there called Notorious, and the research for all the Notorious series is incredibly intense. And the amount of editing is incredibly intense. And the amount of B-roll that I find incredibly intense. Are you getting the picture here? It's incredibly intense. But I'm really enjoying unraveling this story. Well, they're micro stories in an overall macro story. If you have not listened to the podcast, The Missing Crypto Queen, you should. My first video over there was about Igor E. Alberts, and I want to say it's like the second or third episode of The Missing Crypto Queen. It's called The House of Dreams. Well, that's Igor. He, is like interviewed and stuff. But what I did is I went back further in his history and, piece things together. And that's what I'm doing with each of these top people who are connected to One Life, One Coin. And if you don't know what One Life, One Coin is, it's an MLM, cryptocurrency. MLM, if you don't know what cryptocurrency is, Google it, because I'll be explaining all of these things. So anyway, my point is all of that, which I literally stumbled upon, I really, really did. And now that I did, it's like I can't let go. It's like I want to know more. And I know on different social media platforms, I posted that Kate Winslet is going to do a movie called Fake. Fake is based off of Jen McAdams. Jen McAdams was a victim of OneCoin, and it's her story. So it's like this is the Tiger King of multi-level marketing stories. It's just so multifaceted. So my point is, I'm so heavily involved in all of that, and everything takes so much out of me, and I'm really enjoying it. My energy is going towards it, But I wanted to come over here because I missed a deadline. I told you I was going to do something and I didn't. I'm human. What can I say? And then my attention it just changed because of all of these crazy people that I'm researching. It is fucking batshit nuts. So I decided, well, I'll come have my coffee with you. So that's what I'm doing. I don't know. I'm thinking hopefully I'll get my second video recorded this week. I can only do one of these heavily researched videos a week, and that's really pushing it because, like I said, it just takes so much in so many different ways. And so the other video I'm going to do, it is another one of the 15-star diamond superstar people from Beachbody, which interestingly enough, okay, here's the deal. They were supposed to have someone do training each week and they missed last week. And also before that, they stopped announcing these things in the group. And I'm like, you promised these people something and you can't even hold up on that. And you wonder. I just find that all really interesting. However, I do have some training that Carl Deichler, the CEO, has provided. So I'll probably be covering that. That stuff, it's not as interesting at all to me because, it's just not as deep. It's just not as twisted. But can it be? And are there connections to the twisted world that I have somehow stumbled into? Probably so. I think I think there could be some kind of weird map thing created for all of these players and all the different multi-level marketing companies that they've been involved in. And, it's just batshit nuts. That's what I have. So anyway, and that was a long ass intro. So if somebody wants to like timestamp, she didn't start talking about Barbies until this time, knock yourself out, whatever. Okay. So as a little girl, I loved playing Barbies. I mean, I'm talking loved it. I'm an only child. And so as an only child, you got to figure out how to entertain self. I mean, there's no one around you going to entertain you. And I mean, my dogs, I would dress them up in little outfits, my baby doll outfits and stuff. And, I mean, my dogs and my dolls, I mean, that's really, I just lived in my world of imagination. So I guess I was about 4 or 5, maybe. I mean, I was little. And one Christmas morning, I wake up and what do I find? The most bomb-ass Barbie doll house. Now, this was not your ordinary Barbie doll house that you just buy from Mattel and put together and it's all plastic. It was a wooden Barbie doll house, 3 stories tall, all custom made. And it was so cool. And the furniture in it was so cool. And we used to have a toy store here in Houston called the World of Toys. And it was located on University Boulevard over in the Village. The Village is Rice Village. It's right by Rice University, not too far from the medical center. Give you context if you want to look this shit up on the map, because I'm not popping up anything on the screen. And anyway, when I would go to my dentist, Dr. Kelman's, as a little girl, my mom would always take me to the World of Toys afterwards, and I would get a toy. And this place, I mean, it's been many years, but I can still kind of picture it in my mind's eye, It was piled high with everything. I mean, it was from, if there's a shelf, but it just went on up to the ceiling and everything and everywhere. And so it wasn't organized the way that, if you go into there used to be Toys R Us and that's now defunct, but if you would go into a toy department anywhere, it wasn't systematically organized in that way. I have no idea how it was organized. I mean, like shit was together with like shit, but it wasn't all, flashy and, it was I don't know how to describe it. I really don't, but it wasn't a store that looked like it was organized. I mean, that's the best way I can put it. But yet it had the most unique stuff in it. And I have no idea where they got this stuff. Hence, I got the World of Toys gone all around the world. I don't know. Got people making stuff. I don't know. But I suspect a lot of the furniture that was inside my dollhouse came from there, or they had catalogs, back in the day when there was a physical catalog and you would have to order something from the mail. And then my mom would go and get a piece, at a time. And she probably did it while I was off, looking at stuff, because she would be slick like that. But the master bedroom, if you will, it had a pink canopy bed. And it was wood. So I've seen other ones online. So it's not the plastic kind. And I have not been able to find this particular bed because I look. And then it had this vanity in it. And it was from Susie Goose, I think Susie Goose. And I've been able to see, if I can find replicas of that, because now as an adult, I want to get all of this stuff again. And the couches and stuff, I did find those too. And I had this little wooden fireplace, and there was little logs in it, and it was so cool. And the kitchen stuff, I mean, there was one, it was a stove, and there was this little button, and you'd press on, and there was this, turkey, and it would go around in the spit. There was the refrigerator that had real little ice cubes in it. I mean, everything was just it was just amazing. I have no idea how my mom found all of that stuff, but it was so super cool. And I had a piano. The piano was actually a jewelry box, but there was a little piano room too. And I mean, I would play Barbies for hours by myself. I loved it. And I could just, create create my own little world with my Barbies. I would, you know, after I got like a Barbie camper and stuff, they'd go traveling and, you know, I just go all over the place with my Barbies. And I had a lot of Barbies. And there was this one day, because I have started collecting them again. One day I'll show you her, that she was always the mom for some bizarre reason, you know, always the mom. And I had, you know, Tootie dolls. I had all kinds of Skippers. I had a Francine doll. I think just one. But just, I mean, all these different Barbies. I mean, just tons and tons and tons of them. All kinds of clothes. I can remember this beautiful, beautiful wedding gown that I had with brocade on it, which I have seen like on, you know, eBay and stuff. And it's, you know, quite pricey now, but, you know, it wasn't back then. But I had just such unusual stuff. Now, like I said, I could entertain myself with that. And I remember one time, I must have been about 9 years old or so. And my mom finally came into my room. She was looking for me. I had been so quiet. She didn't realize I was still there because I was so intense with the Barbies. Because I'd get to a point where, you know how, like, you know, as kids, you know, like you talk out loud because you're talking for the different characters. It would become all mental for me. So I'm like doing, you know, telepathic Barbies, you know, just in my own little world, doing my own little thing. Well, my mom had remarried. My parents got a divorce. And at the time, my parents had a restaurant here in Houston. The restaurant doesn't exist anymore. They actually sold it to the managers of the restaurant, and it closed in 1982. I went to the closing. Same chef, same servers from when I had been little bitty. I mean, I kid you not. It was, you know, amazing. And anyway, my mom had remarried someone who knew my dad. They were all like golfing buddies and gambling buddies. But this guy that she married was a real son of a bitch. I mean, he was just an asshole. I mean, I'll just put it out there right now. He was just not a nice person. And so we moved, and we moved to this small town for a bit. And my Barbies went with me. And I was getting older, but I loved my Barbies so much, you know, and I wasn't ready to give them up. I was like 12, nearly 13 at this time. And I loved them. And they were like outside in the backyard in like there was like this office thing that we had in the backyard. And so my dollhouse was out there. And I was still playing Barbies because I had such a good time with them. I really, really enjoyed it. And then we were moving back to Houston. Well, my stepfather made me give my Barbies away. And I didn't want to. I wasn't ready. You know, this was ripping off a Band-Aid that I wasn't ready to let go. And I was allowed to keep some. So I put some things like in a box for me. That stuff never made it. So he just like bald-faced lied to me. I think that's probably one of the meanest things. I mean, he did a lot of mean things. But that was something that just messed me up because I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready to let go of my childhood, you know, and playing dolls. And he was like forcing me to do it. And, you know, as a kid, I can remember, you know, I kind of knew that if any of my cousins saw me playing dolls, they'd probably like make fun of me or something. So I kind of knew that this was not something that everybody else was doing, but I was still having fun with it, you know? It was something I really enjoyed. Plus, my dad had this dollhouse built for me, and my dad had died. And so the dollhouse was such a symbol for me. And, you know, it makes me really sad. It's like I get teary-eyed thinking about it. And it just always bugged me. Now, it bugged me so much. Get this. I'd have dreams about my dolls. Like frequently. I would be dreaming about the Barbies that I no longer had. So it had to have been in my early to mid 20s. I was like, you know what? This is crazy. So what I did, I went out and got me some Barbies, and I played Barbies because I was like, you know, this is really bothering me. And after I did that, the dreams went away. But it was like I never had closure. It was like it really. So if you have kids, don't do that to them. Don't make them give up something that they're not ready to give up, even if you know it's like, you know, a little bit too young for them. Don't do that to them. My dad did something else. I can remember this. This is like another little story time for you too. There was this doll. It was like the most ugly doll in the world. And I saw it at like the Five and Dime. Like, it was like at a Walgreens or something. I don't even remember the name of this, or Woolworths or whatever. And it was a doll that was like, it would teach you how to like tie and do buckles and snaps and, Velcro and all that kind of stuff. It was hideous. It was this little clown doll thing, which I haven't been able to find. I would love to find because it was so flippin' ugly. And I really wanted it. And my mom would not let me have it. Well, my dad came back home. This was before the divorce and before he died, obviously. And I think I cried to him, and he put me in the car and he took me down there. He got me the doll. And you know what? I played with that damn doll and I was a happy, happy, happy camper. I just wanted this stinking doll for whatever bizarre reason, as heinous as it was. So yeah, that's my Barbie story, and that's like a weird clown, strange doll story too. But yeah, and I know people really get on about the whole Barbie thing, and it's being sexist, it's this, that, and it's, make what women think about themselves. And I was just a kid enjoying playing with these dolls and dressing them up, and I just had fun. I had little Dawn dolls. I mean, I had a blast doing that. And I'm glad now as an adult, I'm collecting some. Some of them I'm like, wow, I don't know if I can get that one. But they have these memories, and they have these memories attached to them also about my mom. And I miss my mom so much. I so wish my mom could have met my husband. Oh my gosh, I so wish she would have loved him. But it's like something to connect you to your past. So I've started collecting some of those dolls. I haven't gotten a doll in well over a year because, just other things. You know how it is. Anyway, the sun is coming up, so the lighting changes and all of that, and I'm burning up. There is just not a lot of air circulating where I like my home office / YouTube studio. It's really not. So we'll see what I get done today. I hope that you enjoyed this. I know it's kind of like a random weird story of like several things kind of mashed together. It is what it is. This is just me talking to you. So have a good day. And remember, you're beautiful and I love you.